So this time we're going to look at quarters, and we're going to look at how to turn a quarter into a decimal and why that is what a quarter is as a decimal. So these beads are split equally on each side of the rec and rec. So there are 4 equal groups. So still, there's 100 beads altogether, and it's split into 4 equal groups. It's split into quarters. So 1 out of 4 equal groups is how many beads? Now, I know that 25 is a quarter of 100, so I can write that straight in. So 1 equal group is 25 beads. If I wanted to prove that, I could see, look, there's 5 in a row here, and there are 5 rows altogether, and 5 fives make 25. So 4 groups add up to 100, but one of those groups is 25. So a quarter of 100 is 25. Right, so 1 out of 4 equal groups is 25 over 100 as a fraction, because there are 100 beads altogether and 25 of them are in each equal group. So that shows me that a quarter is the same thing as 25 over 100. So as a decimal, I can write a 0.25. Now let's think about that. If there are 100 beads and each group had 25, well, 4 25s make 100. It's the same as when we're doing a decimal. So a quarter goes into 1 4 times, and 0.25, if you add it together 4 times, it makes 1. So what fraction is represented by 3 out of the 4 groups? So 1 group is 25, 2 groups is 50, so 3 groups would be 75. So just like when I was turning a quarter into a decimal, this is now 3 quarters. So it's the same thing as 75 over 100, but as a decimal, we would write it as 0.75 because it is 3 quarters. 1 quarter is 0.25, 2 quarters would be 0.5 or 0.50, that's easier to see, and 3 quarters would be another 0.25, which would be 0.75. So if you can remember that, a quarter is 0.25 as a fraction, 3 quarters is 0.75, and 1/2 is just 0.5.